I'll be reacting to the Master Cinderella Girls U149 episode 12 and 1-0 go. And I'll give it I'll give it like 100 on Crunchyroll website since it currently had 99 likes. Oh, that deal. I'm hyped. I know I'm having fun watching the last few episodes of this series. I bet those outfits are going to look adorable. No! All right. This is hype, y'all. I love everyone has all the glow sticks out. This is it, y'all. This is it. There it is. Performance time. Chunk of summer night. Oh, there it is, the producer. Yeah. I mean, I hope they have enough time for the performance. Oh, no, they definitely will. It's the last episode of the season. But thankfully, know why we. I was loving when they get angry. What? Can't there be special exceptions though? Well, to attract the most people possible to an audience, because that is prime time. Maybe he gets permission from the parents. Although here's the thing about this episode, I got a question. We know that all of our girls are going to perform on stage. Why spoil that they're going to perform and make it seem like this is a struggle for the producer if we know they're going to perform just based off of like the first few moments of the episode? That's the only thing. I don't know why series like to like get rid of any tension. Be like, oh yeah, the main character wins. Oh yeah, the main couple gets together. We'll just spoil what happens. Oh yeah, you know these idols are gonna. It ain't just this series. There was another idol anime that did it a few seasons ago too. It ain't just this one. It was Eternal Boys. It's like, oh yeah, these 30-plus-year-old idols, they're not gonna struggle. I mean, we know they're a success, but we're gonna show you how they become a success. Like I don't know why idol anime like doing that, just spoiling the hell out of a character succeeding right before it happens. And saying that the visual quality is real good. But anyway, it ain't just an issue for this specific scene in the episode. A lot of idol anime just like the spoil thing. It's like you give a gift to someone for Christmas, but then you tell them a month ahead of time what that gift is. I just want to be surprised. And dang it. Still, though, good start to an episode, though, overall. Instead of being, but here's the thing, though. And them doing that, instead of thinking, like, oh, man, they're going to be able to perform on stage, my mind's thinking, oh, man, what's the producer going to do to get them on that specific stage? And that does get a bit of a rid of tension. It does. It is cute seeing these two try to keep some optimism, though. But those are like the minor things that the Idol Master does that keeps it from being great. Like the series, like this, at least this specific series. This specific series is good, but it's like this. It's like the little things that it does that remind me, oh, it does this. That keep it from greatness. Still an enjoyable. I mean, as still as someone who's seen this for the first time and this is their first Idol Master anime. It's fun, enjoyable. Can't necessarily say it's a creme to the cremics experience, though, but it's good. Regardless, it's good. And it's nice seeing Anissa all smiley, man. That's charming. It's nice just seeing how much of a long way they've all come. They've all worked hard for this. And I like the song. It's not like we can do everything right the first time. Like that song has meaning because, yeah, it takes multiple attempts in life to get things done properly. Yes. And I bet you she's going to sing absolutely beautifully. Still, though, she admitted it straight up, and that's what makes it so dang charming. Imagine there's still work they have to do, and it ain't that easy. Because usually at work, more things show up than expected. Yo, someone definitely fucked up. That is so sweet. Everyone wanted to make come together to help out our main girls. That's beautiful. And plus, who wouldn't want to help out all of adorable youngins? Hmm. Yeah, because they can work from those. You know, Dreams is versatile enough to the point where you can actually put that in almost anything. So, hey, I love her reaction. It's beautiful. And I love how he's encouraging all of his girls in Nordisu too, despite her nervousness. Hey, it makes sense. The producer should be able to add something too. This is right because some idol anime, for some reason, in the last few episodes, like they'll skip the production of the lyrics for to end off the season. They'll skip the production of the lyrics for a final song in a series. Yes! Fuck yeah! As it should be moved up. Seeing all girls happy is dang beautiful. I love the squishiness when she squishes her own cheek. Yep, the whole world's gonna be able to hear it. Yo, it's hype. Yo, just asking the important questions. I kind of wish this season was longer for the Idol Master Cinderella Goes U149 because it would have been cool to like see a full episode of them like letting it sink in that they're performing, practicing dance movements and all that. That'd have been hype. But hey, regardless, at least we got to see him build the lyrics though. Oh, we are getting to see practices, I'm guessing. Oh, damn. I guess they're breezing through them straight up. Here's another issue with the Idol Masters. Cinderella Goes even for 149. They breeze through things like this, when in actuality, these type of things should be allowed to breathe, like seeing them in the moment, practice, not show the aftermath of them already all tired and drained on the floor. Because that's how some of the best out anime do it, like Love Live Superstar seasons 1 and 2, Watch a Pretty Magi Shine, they would show us the process of characters dancing to practice right before a big performance. Just feels like it's really, really too quick with the way they're handling it here. Like it feels like the cons in this episode should be spread out between 2 episodes, which is pretty much the story of this season of Idolmaster. Like a lot of the episodes seen this year, it's either they really should spread the comps. Okay, at least now we're seeing some practicing on screen, even though it's a bunch of stills. Not the sexiest way of handling it, because again, you have idol anime like Time Post and Love Live Superstar show off amazing practice sequences with full on motion, versus here they use a bunch of stills. But hey, I mean, at least it's better than it being completely skipped over. Not optimal though. Obviously, it isn't optimal because other idol anime in the idol anime genre have done it better. But still, though, not the worst thing. It gets the job done, and it conveys what the effort that the girls are doing. Yes, it's not optimal because you don't feel the kinetic energy and seeing a bunch of stills, but at least the effort is displayed on screen, which is, I guess, better than nothing. Now, I can only hope the performance itself, when I get to it, is the most grand, spick, and spectacular looking thing I've ever seen. Or at least one of the best performances I've ever seen in an idol anime. I mean, they're all youngins. They're not going to want to wait. Hell, we, the viewers, have been waiting for so dang long. So the patience levels for the girls, I wouldn't really blame them or girls if they're just slightly a little bit impatient. Oh, that is so cute. I mean, who wouldn't be on their debut day? Yeah, that's the best way of doing it because they say if you smile, even if certain things are, it could at least help lighten things up a bit. It can make you feel better. It sends some chemicals in your mind too. Like it's scientifically proven that yeah, smiling can actually do quite a lot for you. I freaking love that bouncy Nina's. I wonder who is this guy though. Yeah, now this really has me curious now. And we saw him a bit earlier too. That's true because if kids don't have a chance of feeling, they can't grow. He is damn right. Well, yeah, because if you're an idol, you have to deal with constant practices, scrutiny from viewers. There's a lot of pressure of being an idol. It ain't just as simple as wanting to be one. Again, it'd be cool if we were to see practice sequences. It'd be cool if we were to see some motion when they're practicing the girls. No, I mean, it gets the job well just enough. Obviously, when you see bits like this, because it's already known that this series had ran through some production issues in some of the early episodes. It's fair to say this is more signs of that. But to get the important scenes looking good, this final episode can still succeed. I mean, who in this spot wouldn't be all happy looking though? Yeah, there's a lot of stills. Way more stills than the typical the Idol Message Cinderella Girls U149 episode. Straight up. Oh yeah, at least the stuff before the performance does look good. I love how they all high fiving each other. Oh, at least some of them. That's adorable. All right, our girls are about to take the lift off. Yo, my goodness. Okay, they really are cute. I mean, who could not want to root for them at all? Straight up. Okay, already the visuals look away. Oh, oh man. Okay. Yep, this is definitely what they were saving the production budgets for because this looks gorgeous. My goodness. I even love the first person point of view. Where we actually get to see the Vance's point from all our girls. That's cool. And not only that, I like how they're splat. You can tell there's a little mix of CGI and some of the distance shots, but it's really good looking CGI. Not the crap you like, not the crappy looking CGI you see in some of the animes this season, like Kizuna no I forgot its name because it was so trash. Well, that wasn't trashy. It was so mid. I don't remember its name. Like that series had bad CGI except for its last episode. This series, even when it does use it, it's amazing. And the 2D stuff, which is most of it, is beautiful. And it's nice because we're hearing the lyrics uh that they were thinking of using earlier. We're hearing them using this song. I mean, not we're hearing them use that stuff in the song, or the bit when they say the dream. That bit where Reese's thinking a word and she came up with the word dream was really damn cool. It makes that earlier bit better. This is why, to me, hearing the development of lyrics right before a song is performed is important because this gives this bit the lyrics. It gives them more strength because we saw these girls meticulously think things out. It ain't just the elevation, the backgrounds that look good. Oh, and even the animation for people watching and Denise's parents. Oh, that's so cool. Oh! They'll get them, man. This series really knows how to touch on the heartstrings. And there's always something cool to see, like the fantasy-like visuals in some bits, the realistic-looking visuals in some bits, a mix of seeing the venue too, how it lights up, and how it's never too early, too late. Like the lyrics are relatable because yeah, sometimes it's late to older folk that you can't dream of something because you're too old for this. But no, it's not really too late. So the lyrics really feel relatable. And it's something when sometimes someone is told that they're too young to do something because you should be allowed to dream. So all in all, the song is really great. Yeah, they all are gonna grow. Oh, all right, that's cool. So he wants to be the best darn producer possible. That's a beautiful goal right there. Fun episode. Felt a little bit rushed because I would have loved to have seen how the audience reacted to the performance, though. The performance itself was amazing. I would have loved to have seen like audience reaction. Again, it's like I said about a lot of episodes in the IDOLM STER Cinderella Girls U149. It'd be really good if they were able to split the content of a single episode into 2 episodes to space things out. But overall, this is still a good episode. And I gotta admit, this ED Beats is nice. I really love it. It's cool. Like seeing the characters with their family members is so nice. I would have loved to have seen maybe a bit more family interactions a bit earlier, but it's cool to at least get to see some of this ending in the ending bit. It's cool. Yo, Nina's so cute. Oh, that's right. This is my fave girl in the series, but Nina's like number two, straight up. I really, really vibe with those characters. Oh, hey, you know what? I like this. I like how they wrap things up. This is actually a good conclusion. It's rushed, obviously, but hey, this is at least a nice, well ending that if it doesn't get more, then it would wrap up well. I appreciate that. Don't this is okay now, it's sequel baiting. I'm not a fan of sequel baiting. Are you serious? It didn't have to show. It literally could have ended at the 23-minute and 40-second mark, and that's it. Why sequel bait when there's no guarantee of a season two? What compelled these writers to be like, oh yeah, we don't know if we're gonna get a season two? Well, boom! Here's a 15-second cliffhanger anyway. All right, I take back what I said about the ending. They really shot themselves in the foot. Now, unless the series gets a season two, the ending is going to be completely unsatisfying. The only time that sequel baiting works is if you're in a literally a prosperous financial position like Love Live Superstar was, where that series made so much money hand over fist that it got a season three instantly because Love Live Superstar season two, it got a season three instantly, and they were able to sequel bait. Why did the series sequel bait? And I even checked too early in the morning. There wasn't any announcements for the Idol Master Cinderella Girls U149. There's no season 2 announcements. I checked on Anime News Network and my anime list just to be sure. Early in the morning, there. All right. Those last 15 seconds really drag down the series. Depends. If we get a season 2, then I guess it's all fine and dandy. But if we don't, that drags down the series for me because it's like I wouldn't be able to recommend this unless it gets to season 2 because I've been telling someone, oh yeah, watch the series, but then those last 15 seconds they promise a season 2, but that might never come. That honestly, if you include stuff like that, only include it if, say, the series does financially well enough to get a season 2 and add it as like a Blu-ray extra or something. I swear that sequel baiting feels like a kick into the balls. So I was gonna rate this episode like an 8.5 out of 10 for great. Now I gotta drop down the score to an 8 out of 10 just because of that sequel baiting alone. But overall, I did like the episode. Sequel baiting shenanigans aside, because here's what the series did well. It was nice getting to see the producer liveling things up with the girl. Like, I love seeing him encourage Arisu to come up with like anything to implement with the song, and Arisu came up with the word dreams, and that was cool. Seeing him support her, I thought that was a really, really good, well-written sequence. I love that. Not only was that the only brilliant thing in the episode, the performance itself was brilliant. Seeing all the girls perform together, seeing the others come together, the sister girls, and the performance itself was amazing. Now, I'm saying that, yes, even though the episode had great things, there were some rush things. It would have been nice to get to see full-on hand-drawn performance sequences, and they didn't do it this episode. They definitely dropped the ball visually when it came to things not involving the main performance. And if I had to be perfectly honest, it would be nice to get to see maybe some reactions from the crowd about a performance well done, or the girls' reactions to finishing off the performance, because that's part of the fun in idol animes. Seeing the nervousness main characters have right before a performance and seeing the reactions after performance is done. Here, it's just they do the performance and then boom, segments into the girls being with their families, which is nice and all, but I wish we would have seen some performance from the audience. I mean, some like scenes when we see them, react to the performances and all that. That just felt the way they did things in this episode was handled pretty abruptly. This felt like this should have been the script for 2 episodes, and they condensed it into 1. At least that's the vibe I get. So yeah, the pacing for this episode went on way too quick. But in saying that, it was still a fun episode. I enjoyed it. That's why I'll give it an 8 out of 10, despite the sequel baiting shenanigans and the rush pacing. Now, when it comes to my rating of the series, I've got to change it now. Well, now, I must remember, y'all, anything above a 5 out of 10 is above average. Originally, I was going to rate this series a 7 out of 10 if it would have had a well-wrapped-up ending. Well, I can't say it has a well-wrapped-up ending now because they sequel bait in the last 15 seconds. Like, literally, if they didn't have those last 15 seconds, I would have instantly given it a 7 out of 10, and I'd be like, hey, you know what? It ended well. Nope. Can't even say that anymore because they sequel bait. Like, what compelled the animation staff to show off those last 15 seconds? And I want to hear, oh, Anime Caveman. It's because they can get more sequels. I'm like, how many idol anime have done this shit and never gotten a sequel? I'm still waiting for Shine Post to be having a season 2 announcement after that series sequel baited. Never got more. I Star Chu, that's another idol anime that sequel baited. Does that one have a sequel? No, it fucking doesn't. It's like every single time an idol anime fan tells you, Anime Caveman, it can get more. And they seem to always say this when an idol anime sequel baits. I'm like, I've been watching all the non-sequel, non-spin-off animes for multiple years. Why take the risk of sequel baiting when there's a chance you might not even get a sequel? Because I Start Shooting get a sequel, Shine Post didn't get a sequel. Those 2 sequel baited when they could have had perfectly well done endings. But no, they had to have the goal a sequel. But in this series, does the same thing as those series, and I'm like, oh, why did this series choose the sequel bait? Like, why? What compelled it to? That's what really gets to me about the ending, because unlike some other anime, it really could have angled itself perfectly, and it just squandered it. That's why I have to reduce it by my score by half a point, unless it's somehow if it gets a season 2, then it's all on water under the bridge, and I'll be like, all right, I'm happy, I'll get more. But that's a big ass if. And last I checked, the IDOL STER Cinderella Girls U149 ain't like, say, Demon Slayer that got a season 4 instantly. It ain't like Golden Kamuy that got a season 5 instantly. It ain't like The Dangers of My Heart that got a season 2 instantly. It ain't like any of those anime that have been. Oh, it ain't like Oshinoko, another idol anime. And I didn't even think Oshinoko was that good, but that one got a season 2 instantly. And like those other idol anime or other anime that have gotten their confirmations like that quick. Because at least I'm even checking Twitter too right now. And as of now, there is no season 2 announcement. So yeah, until this gets a season 2, I gotta start for giving it a 6.5 out of 10, because yeah, those last 15 seconds really irked the hell out of me. Now, in saying that, though, this series was enjoyable because, yes, here's the thing about this series. This series did have a few weak episodes during its run. For example, we had episode 7 a few weeks ago that still stays in my mind when I think of episodes like that could have been used for more important things. But that's the thing about this series. Like, there were weak points throughout its run, because we spent episode 7 when Kohara was looking for a pet iguana. That was pretty much what the most episode was spent on. And then you had episode 5, which the problem with that episode was it should have been spread out to 2 episodes, because episode 5 was emphasizing that on Risa's acting and all that kind of jazz, and we didn't get to see any of it because it just rushed through all of it. So I was wondering, why am I giving this 6.5 out of 10? It ain't just because of the sequel baiting. It's with the way certain things were handled, like episodes 5 and 7, where the pacing was absurdly done, similar to how episode 12 also had issues. But in saying that, though, there were pauses in the series too. Like, there's a reason why I'll still call this an above average anime despite the issues. Because episodes, like, say, episodes 1 was amazing. The introductory episode where it gave Risu an arc where she went from not really being trusting towards the producer and only made it satisfying where in the last few episodes she started to actually trust the producer. And personally speaking, episode 2 also continued on momentum. Episode 3 was the amazing internet episode that dealt with like themes of how toxic the internet can be if you don't protect kids enough. That was a really cool showing for some of our other girls. Episode 3 was really cool. And episode 11 was a real classic. Episode 11 was the best episode in the series. The Jetstein Grown and Kids. Episode 11 was so meticulously written. So yeah, even though this series had a few duds, the high points really made this a fun series to follow. Yeah, the Idol Master is not perfect, but the series is enjoyable enough to the point where it's like, I had fun watching this series. So even though, yes, the series was flawed, there were positives. And even though, yes, the production issues for the series showed up sometimes, because there were times where, because gotta compare it. Start of the series had well done practice sequences, but then as we got to the finishing stretch, whenever there was anything involving practice, it was done in stills. At least every time the Idol Master Cinderella Girls U149 had a performance, it always looked spectacular. So from an animation standpoint, even though it wasn't perfect, when this series needed a money scene, it would say the least. And yes, even though this series, and here's the thing. There wasn't any character in the series I disliked, but there is a few things the series needed to do. Either they needed to give this series 12 more episodes to give each of our girls spotlight, or they need to cut down the cast of characters, because out of all these girls, I felt like the only ones that they utilized really well after looking at the whole thing are just Nina was great. I thought they utilized the producer really well. Like, the producer and Arisu are literally S tier characters in the series. They were amazing. They had arcs. They were fully developed. Great characterization. No argument. I think Nina is in the A tier. And Momoka is in the B tier. Momoka, Momoka, they did good looking back on it with the bungee jumping stuff. But there were other girls that were poorly handled. I felt like they shortchanged Risa in her episode. They didn't do enough for her. And things of that nature. So when it came to the cast of this series, overall likable characters, but I felt like they either needed to cut down the cast of characters in half or just give this series 12 more episodes. I felt like they should have spread out this content over the length of 24 episodes. That would have or even better, 18 episodes. Obviously, 18 episodes would never work because in Japan. No, actually, or even better, I think what this series also could have done too is maybe taken the approach of, say, Demon Slayer. Maybe they would have had 11 episodes, with the first episode being like double length and the last episode being double length. That would have probably done a lot for pacing too. Like, that would have probably been the bare minimum. Like, if they really want to have the same cast of characters, just handle it like, I guess, Demon Slayer. Just have the first and last episode be double length, and that might be would have been enough. But yeah, that was one of the weaknesses of the series. You have like too many girls, not enough screen time for all of them. The ones that they had time to give a lot of screen time towards were really well developed and fleshed out. The ones that weren't, because I feel it was a missed opportunity not to see Risa's father, considering her attachment to him. That was one of the biggest disappointments, or things like that. But regardless, though, none of the characters in the series were unlikable at the very least. And like I said, characters like, say, the producer and Arisu were really fantastic. I absolutely adored those two. And I really liked Nina, actually. She always brought it every scene. And then Momoka was cool, too. So when it comes to characters, it's overall positive. Could have been better in a few places. And that's why when it comes to my rating of the series, I got to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Because overall, yes, overall the series, it's good. But those flaws keep it from being among the best of the best for me. But I still enjoy this series. And if it were to somehow get a season 2, then I would definitely bump up my rating to a 7 out of 10. But now it needs to get a season 2, though, for that to happen. It needs one, because if not, then it's just going to be a little bit unsatisfying just seeing it end off on this note and being like, well, because my only options are to pray get to season 2 or read the manga. But even then, I heard the manga is slightly different from the anime, so that's not even an option either, because the manga is a bit different from the anime. So now, if I want to see this specific continuity continued, I guess it's just to pray and hope for a season 2, I guess. That's pretty much it. But overall, though, I still enjoyed the episode. And I enjoyed the series in general. And overall, it was a fun ride, despite the flaws. And despite the flaws, I would still put this in my top 10 anime of the spring 2023 season. I definitely can't put it in my top 5. I was about to put it on my top 5 up until this episode. Then I'm like, well, yeah, I can't put it there. And even less because we had literally today, on this specific day, Oakley the Inner Chambers premiere, and it's, oh my goodness, its 10 episodes were amazing. They were absolutely amazing. But still, though, this anime is still my top 10 anime for this season. So I'll give credit to the series, and I will miss it, and I will hope it gets a season 2. And if it does get a season 2, I'll definitely be there to watch it. But yeah, overall, though, as someone who has watched an Idol Master anime for the first time, I definitely enjoyed it, actually, and I had fun. I don't regret my time watching this series at all. But anyways, y'all, thank you very much for watching my video. Hope y'all rate the video, share it, comment, subscribe, comment down your thoughts about how I feel about my reaction, the last episode, or the season in general. And I hope you'll have a great day or night, y'all. Bye-bye, everyone.